Hi, you're listening to the Grow Like a Mother podcast. This is a podcast for moms, entrepreneurs, and neurodivergent folks who want to get a better handle on their time and energy management. I am your host, Jill Wright, author of Happy, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, and the creator of the Time Magic Seasonal Planner. I am so excited you're here. Let's dive straight into today's episode. Hey, welcome to today's episode. It's going to be a short and sweet one, but I wanted to jump on and talk to you guys about the role that human design can play in how we manage our calendars and our schedule. Because if you're familiar with human design, the idea is similar to astrology, where you put in your birth date and you get lots of information about you based on your birth date, your birthplace, your birth time, all that stuff. Human design also brings in energy types. And so you don't need to know your birth time to go and get a human design chart. All you need is your birthday and where you were born, and it will tell you your overarching energy type. There are five. I've had a few guests on the podcast talking about human design, so feel free to flick back and check some of those ones out or go over to listen to Design and Align podcast. Anna Nichols. Look up I am Anna Nichols. She has a wonderful chart that you can get for free, as well as lots of information about human design if you're interested. We are not getting into human design in today's episode, but what I do want to do is have you understand what your overarching energy type is so that you can use that and be mindful when you are creating your calendar, creating your schedule, moving through life. Because when I realized I was a manifester and my energy was really like meant to trailblaze, meant to create, meant to have new ideas, but not necessarily be the one to execute the ideas, not necessarily be the one to do the follow through, not necessarily be the one to ask permission, but to just create, let people know what is happening, and be a leader in that regard. That really helped me because I realized as well that there are periods where I'll have lots of creative energy and periods where I will need a lot of creative rest. And so it shaped the way I moved through life and took away a lot of guilt and shame about not having constant energy like other people do. I am not a generator. If you are a generator, you have a much more consistent energy source. So, what I thought I would do today is just outline for you guys bare bones, high level tips. If you're interested, I can do an episode on each type, each energy type. There are five, as I mentioned. Also, in my newsletter this week, if you get that, there'll be a little breakdown with some more information. It's a really interesting way. It's something that I even talk like corporately about when I do talk. Sometimes I'll do a human design and rest, human design and productivity type of thing because it really is an interesting lens to look through, and it changed a lot for me. So, first things first, like with anything, we really want to personalize. We want to personalize how we do time management and personalize everything with as much information as we can. Human design is just one lens to look through, but you can look through many lenses. You can take the time management quiz that I have, the productivity persona is what I'm calling it, get your time management style. We can do time management tips based on your Enneagram type. We can do time management tips based on a whole bunch of different ways of assessing our personality, right? If you are a manifester and the tips that I have for you today don't align, it could be because it's not the correct season. You're in a different season than the one particular tip I'm pulling out of my hat today is going to be most supportive for us. So just keep in mind, there are many different things that we look at. And this is one of the elements. If you've done a time tune up with me, you'll know one of the questions in my intake is, what is your human design and what is your time management style based on the quiz? You can get that at jillwright.ca/quiz, super easy. But taking more than one thing into account really helps us hone in on tools that are going to work. So this is meant to be a general overview, get you thinking about it, and just offer a tip or two for each energy type. So let's get into it. Manifestors are the folks like me who are meant to initiate, as I mentioned. There's not a lot of us out there. It's kind of one of those categories of energy type that has a smaller percentage than the others. We're meant to sort of work in really powerful bursts that come and go. And so it's not great for us to try to do the 9 to 5 grind. I always struggled with this. And this is something that now I realize is just my energy type. I'm not meant to work 8 hours straight in a day. So a couple tips that work for me as a manifester that I will share with you are having two to-do lists. I really like to have a high energy to-do list and a low energy to-do list. And then I can start my day based on, okay, Does this feel like I have a lot of energy to work with today? Do you think I can power through my full high energy to-do list? And if not, then I just do the default low energy to-do list. It has less items. They're only the most urgent ones, and I can still cross everything off my list, even if I'm having a low energy kind of day. I also find it really helpful to build open space into my schedule so that I can just have some time to sort of rest, decompress, and be off work, or whatever thing I'm doing, be off, because I find I need a lot of alone time. I need a lot of downtime. I need a lot of quiet time for those creative bursts to really come through, to be able to nurture them. And when I have spontaneous ideas, like I did, I'm cooking up in my brain a really, really cool subscription package, like get it in the mail subscription, based on time management, based on working with the earth and how we can move through the calendar in a way that honors the different energies of the season, that brings in indigenous wisdom, that brings in wisdom from my teacher, Melissa Seaman, who talks about the wheel of wisdom, that brings in ancient, like Celtic and pagan traditions and how they worked with the earth, just bringing in different elements on in each season, or what we would call like each month, what we can do, what crystals we can work with, what affirmations. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. That is not the purpose of this episode, but I got this beautiful, like, light bulb moment, spontaneous idea that came through. And because I gave myself some space in my calendar to be able to percolate on that, it's coming together a lot faster than if I hadn't had some space. And kind of along with that is, like, for me, striking when the iron is hot is a really good thing to do. I need to move forward with an idea when I have it, because there are so many that come that if I'm really passionate about one, I need to just jump on it, because if I don't, I'll get overwhelmed with the other things. But then flip side of that, not feeling like I need to jump on every single idea that comes through, because I know that they are plentiful and the next one will come. And if you have read Big Magic by Liz Gilbert, you'll sort of understand this idea that, and this concept that ideas and creation sort of exist outside of people, and they look for a host and a brain that is ready and able to take it on. And if they land in the brain and the person doesn't action it, it's cool. It's just going to go to another person who's kind of ready to action that idea. Read that book if you haven't. So yes, for manifestors, just please don't force yourself to stay on all the time, and really realizing that rest is productive and solitude can really fuel your creative power. So that's for manifestors. Next is generators. You guys are like the builders. I think if you have like the little engine that could, right? You have sustainable energy, specifically when you're working on something that lights you up, right? You're not going to find your energy very sustainable when you're working on boring shit that you don't care about. But if you can focus your energy on things that you care about, you can go forever. You don't run out of steam like the rest of us do. So some ideas for this are like having theme days, so you can really jump into something that you're passionate about, and focus on that. Something like a marketing Monday, right? I also love the idea of having something joyful to bring with you to an activity to sort of boost the energy and boost the fun factor. I had a client once who told me she used to bring ice cream to her Zoom meetings because she really hated them, but bringing the ice cream really helped her bring a piece of joy, which upped the dopamine, which helped her get through the meeting in a much more present and efficient way. And then I also suggest having like a have-to list versus a hope-to list, because it's similar to the high energy and low energy for manifestor types, but for generators, if you have a small list of the things you have to do, even if they're not things that you really want to do, they're not things that really light you up, you can see that it's a small amount, and then you can go to your hope to list when those have tos are done. Bring in some of those things that you wanted to get working on, those creative projects, those things that really light you up, and always dance between that balance so that you can know that you're always going to have the opportunity to bring something in that you care about that will keep you going. I warn you guys to perhaps stop saying yes when you say yes out of like guilt. Even if it's something you don't want to do, you say yes to because you feel like you have to, or you should, or you're a people pleaser. Like, cut that shit out. That is not helping you. You are going to get drained so fast if you do a whole bunch of stuff that you do not love and you do not actually feel like doing. It's going to drain your battery faster than anything else. So start saying no to those things. Slowly, don't do it all at once, but work on those boundaries. And I just want to remind you that it is literally the job of your energy type to follow your hell yes. Your calendar, your life, it should excite you, not exhaust you. Okay. So then the next energy type is called a manifesting generator. As you can imagine, it's kind of a mix between a generator and a manifester. Leans a little bit more heavily on the generator side, I find, from my information and my understanding, but I am not an expert. So if you are a manifesting generator, it might be interesting to see which of the things I spoke about in the last two resonate with you. But essentially, you're multi passionate, you're fast moving, and you're designed to juggle many things. You can make your calendar and your life feel a little bit easier by doing brain dumps so that all of those manifestor type ideas get down in one place. You don't lose them. Brain dumping is a really great idea for what they call mani gens. And then give yourself permission. It's a mindset shift, but give yourself permission to pivot. You don't have to finish everything you start, right? Much like the manifestor is meant to come up with the idea, the generator part of you is meant to only work on the things and like take to completion the things that excite you. So be a bit choosy and permission to pivot if you're working on something, especially if you're an entrepreneur, or this could be relevant in like parenting, if you have a specific type of parenting strategy that you're trying, permission to pivot, right? With your health, with whatever, permission to pivot, follow what lights you up. And one tip that I find works really well for many gens is building in a wind down routine at the end of the day, or like some sort of transitional ritual, so that you can close out one thing and really give yourself time to recharge before you jump back in. Something that can cause you burnout, like kind of a warning, if you will, is don't try to fit into a linear path of doing things. I think that is a quick way for you to burn out, because not only are you maybe not giving yourself permission to jump about in a little bit of like squirrel brain kind of way, which feels really supportive for you and that's how you're meant to move about, but also you're going to burn out if you're trying to follow things from A to B and all the way to Z. Like I said, you're not necessarily meant to finish everything you start, especially if it doesn't light you up. So look out for that and try to delegate, try to give the pieces that don't excite you off to other people. Remember, at the end of the day, for you, your spark is your compass, and that let that lead you as you go through your day and as you build out your calendar and think about what you say yes and no to. Okay. The next energy type is projectors. You guys are like the seers. You can look at a person or a system and like see the inner workings of it, what's going to work for it and what's not. The problem is you really want to feel invited to share, because there's always so much that you can see that other people can't see. And it's really important for you to know when to offer that information and when to not. So being asked for the invitation to share is very important. And realizing that because you can see so much, a lot of it is going to be inside. You're not meant for like constant output and constant sharing. That's going to wind you like wear you down, because you could constantly see things that you want to share about. So you need to kind of keep a boundary around there. You're going to want to really rest deliberately. That's where the downloads happen for you. That's where the insights happen for you. Just like for me as a manifester, schedule and rest. You need more rest than the average bear. Do not feel bad about that. Naps are your friend. Slow mornings are your friend. Take the time to give yourself that space, because it will allow you to be more magnificent in everything that you do. I think that leaving a lot of white space and using intuitive calendar management is a really great idea for you. Don't schedule too many meetings. Don't have too many repetitive things on the calendar. You need to leave space for spontaneity, for rest, for creativity. That is going to help you really step into your power, into the things that you're great at, and help you be more productive as you do them. And I think also tracking and understanding where your patterns are for energy. When do you tend to have high energy days or times of day? When is it lower? And really honoring that. It might sync up with your menstrual cycle. It might sync up with the moon cycle. It might be random, but see if there's a pattern. And I want to also just let you know that you don't need to keep up with the manifestors and the manifesting generators and the generators. Not your job. Stay in your lane, take the rest you need, go as slow as you need, kind of this go slow to go fast mentality for projectors. And as I mentioned, wait for the invitation because your timing matters as much as your energy does. Our last energy type is called the reflectors. There aren't very many of you guys in the world. This is the least dense population of energy type in the world. You are so deeply attuned to your environment. You need extra time to process because everything is coming in at you and you're experiencing it all. You basically just take everything in and you're so attuned to your environment that it really impacts you and how you output. Hold on, I need a drink of water here. Okay, good. Time management tips for these reflectors, these sensitive souls. Try to alternate input days and output days. Input days are days where other people can drive the bus, you are responding to other people, you're reactive, you're you're basically allowing the input to drive your day. What other people are putting in front of you, right? Your emails, your phone calls, your people asking you for things, meetings for other people, not for things that you're sort of initiating. And then have output days where you are not taking direction from anyone. You're being proactive in how you structure your day, what you work on, rather than sort of flipping back and forth between both modes throughout the day. Take specific days or half days to really focus in on whether you're letting someone else drive the bus or whether you're driving the bus. It's also really a good idea for you energy wise to surround yourself with a lot of energetic, positive people because you feed off that energy. You really get charged up by energy, positive energy around you, and you can get easily drained by the negative energy around you. So make sure that you're choosy about who you're spending your time with and build that into your schedule as a way to recharge. It's like your version of rest, right? Like borrowing energy from other people, right? Because you're so sensitive to what's going on around you, you just suck all that in. And it's important for you in your schedule to make sure that you are scheduling things a little bit into the future to allow yourself time to reflect and really make decisions. So quick decisions is not good for you. You can sometimes even need like a whole lunar cycle, like 28 days to really process if it's a yes or if it's a no. So don't make snap decisions. Try not to say yes to invitations right away. Like put them on your calendar, put meetings for a few weeks out, push it as far back as you can to give yourself time to really land, to really reflect and make decisions without feeling rushed. Your burnout triggers can, as I said, really be being in the wrong environment, being around the wrong people. Be careful of who you surround yourself with. It makes a huge impact on you, more than others. And your gift is pacing. It is good for you to be slow and intentional, and taking that time really creates a lot of wisdom, which is one of the gifts that you have to offer the world. Excuse me. So that's it for today. I wanted to just give you guys a quick dive in, reinforce that time management and calendar management and weekly planning and all this stuff isn't about having a rigid system that Jill says you need to follow every week and that is how it will be. And if it doesn't work for you, boohoo, too bad. No, if you have the Time Magic Planner, you know that this is completely in your hands. I am providing some creative riverbanks so that you can flow in whichever way, in whatever time works for you. There are many tools available to you. If you're curious and you want to learn more, I have some spots open for those time tune-ups, which are like 90-minute just deep dives specifically about you and what tools will work. But if you're a planner, grab the Time Magic Planner. I swear it will change the way you look at it at weekly planning. And you'll see that you can bring a lot more activities into your life and create the time to do the things that are value driven, what actually matter to you, that you want to spend time on in a way that doesn't feel like you're saying no to things that you have to do, right? I'm curious to know what your energy type is. Hit me up either on Instagram or like if you're on Spotify listening, leave me a comment. Let me know in some kind of way. Respond to my email. What's your energy type? Did these tips land with you? I always think it's so interesting to look at from my perspective, like on paper, here are the things that are going to really work for these types because of what I know about it, because of the research. But in practice, it sometimes surprises me what works, what doesn't, what works for some people that I wouldn't expect to work. So I love to hear your feedback. That is it. I'm here for you. If this was interesting, please share it with someone who may or may not know about human design or really think about time management. If there was a tip that really resonated, I'd love for you to post about it and share it and tag me so I can share it. We'll get this episode out to as many people as we can who can benefit from it. And of course, if you have a minute to leave a rating or review, that would really help the little algorithm get my podcast into more ears. That is so appreciated. And so are you. Until next week, keep on growing like a mother.